It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the Giants and the Silver and Black under the lights on Sunday night.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Right out of the gates, here's Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Love this look to start the ball game. They empty the backfield right away, and that's going to put some early stress on both their offensive line and on the secondary. And here, they get the completion and a quick first down.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
That one complete to Trey Tucker. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Geno now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Throwing now is Geno. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. In motion right is Robinson. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll run here with a rookie. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Here's Wilson. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Nifty move. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Catch made by Slayton. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Tracy trying the right side. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. To throw is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Gano's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. As they've got it as we resume action. That's complete into the hands of Myers. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Now a handoff running through the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Second and 7. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I'm not sure that that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Out of the gun, Smith. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now Gino. And that went to the right side and incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
The kick by Carlson is good, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Running left is Tracy. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go again with Tracy. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 9. On to give, it's Tracy. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will tie things up at 6-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Smith. Over the middle, and Mayer hauls it in. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And from the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. To throw is Smith. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Back to throw, Smith. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Now Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the 1st half.
Now it's Wilson. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this 1st half after all? It's 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's caught left side by Neighbors. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Wilson to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this 1st half of play. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these two teams. 6-6 our score. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Throwing is Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now it's Smith. That's caught by Tucker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start with a run by Tracy, and he edges forward but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
This is 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Right back to Tracy. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. On the run is Tracy. Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. To throw is Wilson. Complete. It's Johnson. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Giants have moved out in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Gano the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. Geno now to throw. Open man is Myers. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll run on the draw, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Throwing now is Geno. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 21. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
1st downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. In possession switching back to the New York Giants. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the fourth quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Wilson. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Tracy. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On the ground, here comes Tracy. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they'll try to move the ball closer here on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. Here's Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Now Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They go play action now. Wilson. That is caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Giants answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Extra point try good by Gano, and they will take a 7-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Geno. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 67 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Here now, 2nd and 10 from the 13.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Smith.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Throwing now is Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Here's 1st and 10. Smith's going to throw it. That's caught by Tucker.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Smith to throw. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Smith. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
A big play here. 3rd and 2.
Smith now to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Well, it came down to the final play in such a close ballgame. What a game it was, but they can't get that last throw off. Good job by that defense to get in there for the sack to seal it.
And for fans watching the game, a little bit anticlimactic, don't you think, partner? Not even able to get off one last throw to see how it would have turned out. Instead, pass rush got to him and ended it that way.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
With that, we say good night from Las Vegas.